It's always got a lot of climbing, a lot of mountain stages. It's not going to be easy by any means, but I see compared to some other years we don't have the really big days of 5,000 metres plus climbing day after day, but it'll still be certainly difficult. I think the first half is going to be more about staying out of trouble than making big differences, but it's always hard, lots of climbing, slightly more favourable to the climbers, but of course climbing there every day, being consistent throughout 3 weeks is going to be the key.
You rode very strongly this year. Is a route that you think will suit your own characteristics?
I'd like to think so. This year my performance in the uphill time trial wasn't anywhere where it needed to be for at least holding the place on GC where I was. Certainly there's a few areas that I can improve on from the last 2 years to going into next year, and I see there's a reasonably good course for me, and of course it'll all depend on what happens in the 3 weeks there.
You've said that you're going to focus on the Giro rather than the Tour. How will your programme change in terms of preparation for that, in terms of your build-up for the race?
It keeps things pretty much the same, but of course the Giro coming in May as opposed to July, you start everything a little bit earlier, so I might add a few more races in the early season just to get some days racing in my legs before starting the Giro.
Is the Tour Down Under there for a possibility?
Maybe a possibility. We'll see. It's still planning stages to go through yet with the team, and whether they're starting early February or they're starting early in January, we'll see what the team wants and requires.
The Giro was the first stage race where you really showed your ability a while back, so to return to that and in theory to contend for the win would be a nice circle for your career, having done so well early on as a young rider.
It's the Giro for me. It was my first Grand Tour that I ever did back in 2002, and always felt that I had a lot more to be able to give to the Giro, and that's something this year that of course I wanted to be able to give back to the Giro, but also in terms of chasing results. And next year, hopefully, with a bit more time and a bit more careful preparation, we can make a difference from the bottom step of the podium to something a little bit higher. In the third week's always it's getting close to victory, and I always had an idea of unfinished business. I started doing racing on the road in the Grand Tour as opposed to ride the Tour de France, but I dedicated 10 years of my life to that, and now I have an opportunity to go back and concentrate and prepare well for the Giro. Whether it'll bring a better result or not, well, of course I hope so.
So what does that, if you do have ambitions for next year, how does that stand you instead for the Tour de France, for example? Has there been a decision made?
No, not 100% confirmed, but at this point it looks like I'll probably do the Giro. It's unlikely I'll start in the Tour de France, and that leaves me with a lot of time and energy, of course, to concentrate on the Giro.